on your face.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I'm so happy that this bill has been called, and I won't be here as late as JCJ last night. Members of the committee, Representative Sheets, thank you. First of all, I want to say that we look forward to seeing the committee substitute, and hopefully that will address some of the continuing concerns relative to the bill. But I will have to admit to some confusion after having sat through all of the discussions regarding Mr. Thompson's bill.
And will you get us through the formalities of who you are?
I'm so sorry.
Who you represent?
Yes, my name is Bryan Blevins. I'm president of the Texas Trial Lawyers Association, and we are opposed to the bill. And I say that because we heard all of this testimony about how it was name driver policies are 95% of one business and they're 40% of another business. And the companies selling name driver policies have gone from 56 to 81 over 2 years. And the percentage in the marketplace of name driver policies has increased by 20%. And so we hear all of this incredible information about how name driver policies are so incredibly important, and then people come in and say that we have to have them, because otherwise the uninsured market is going to go down. And then we get to this bill, and all of a sudden nobody can sell anyone because the burden's too high. I mean, this is a problem because now we got to meet all these burdens, and so we can't sell the policies. And so we got to lower the burden so we sell the policies. I don't know the answer to that question, but it does raise some concerns because 1567, as we heard in this hearing not an hour ago, solve the problem, is a great first step. Is any number of accolades were given to 1567, and yet what we do here, at least under the file draft, is we go from having two disclosures, an oral and a written, to having either or. Also, the nature of the disclosure changes. Also, the nature of who gets the disclosure changes, because under the definition in the current bill, the current statutory language talks about an automobile insurance policy. But under this definition, we've limited it now to a personal automobile owner's insurance policy. I'm not sure exactly who that's defining out of the disclosures, but it certainly seems more limited than automobile insurance policy. Therefore, our conclusion would be that fewer people are going to get the benefit of the disclosures. Also, the bill, when we talk about the disclosures, I think that one of the things to do is you're only going to get one time. You're going to get it when you get that first purchase. And that's the issue that's been raised about the renewals and doing it multiple times. But we also heard testimony in which they don't cancel anybody. Once you buy that policy, they're keeping you as an open client, and they're not canceling you when you can't pay. And therefore, when you come back 3 months later, 4 months later, and you can pay, that under the current rules, they would get a new disclosure for any changed circumstance, whereas under this bill, that original disclosure would have been all they received.
Members, are there any questions? Representative Meyer.
Why do the trial lawyers care about this bill?
Because we think that with our concern, thank you, what we see in our practice and what our members are seeing is some of the anecdotal evidence that you heard about, that more and more of these automobile accidents are involving drivers that are now not covered. Someone else is driving the vehicle under the assumption of insurance, but they're not covered. And so now we have an injured party and no right of redress under the deal.
So you want to be able to sue the insurance companies?
We would love. If we could talk about a direct action statute in the state of Texas, I would stay here through next week.
Okay, now I got it.
Sorry.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Representative Sheets.
Yes,
well,
sir.
first of all, I have to share that Mr. Blevins, because you talked about our marathon session in JCJ last night, he had a great line. He wanted to know if there was tort reform in Sharia law.
Question.
But
it must have been late.
It was very, very late.
It wasn't that late. It was before midnight.
Okay.
All right.
I'm from East Texas, so I'm not a Dallas. I don't live in Dallas and the high life there. So
please get with my office.
Absolutely.
We'll take care of some of those concerns because our intent is to make sure the disclosures are there, but at the same time not burdening the consumer and making sure that every month and every 3 months, they don't need to be going and visiting their insurance agent to sign a document. That as long as they're getting the disclosure, and they're going to get it when they initially purchase the policy, they're going to get it when they get their policy documents. It's going to be on their insurance card. That's our goal, is to make sure they have the disclosure, but it's not becoming a burden. And I appreciate, again, because you guys are always very forthright and always willing to come work with us, and I appreciate it.
Yes, sir, and we will. Thank you very much.
Members, are there any other questions? Thank you for your testimony.